Hey everyone. Okay, I'm still working on the John Deere L118. If you remember when I got the tractor, the throttle cables were cut, the throttle and choke. I have since repaired the throttle cable. I'm going to show you guys how I did it. And I'm going to be doing exactly the same thing to here on the choke cable. Okay, here is the actual choke mechanism for the John Deere L118. And as you can see, it's already got a new end. No, I did not rebend it or recrimp it, because here's actually the cut cable right here. And here is the cut end. I was lucky enough in my horde, I had a few of these guys sitting around. They were full length throttle cables for a Craftsman. So what I did was I cut this off right here, which is this piece right here, and I was able to unthread this. I first off tried to bend this out, but I figured it might cause more damage to the actual cable instead of just cutting this off, because really this is useless to me now anyways. And I was able to bend back this little tab here on the L118 on the throttle cable, and I slipped this in, hooked it up, and I just bent that back up. So if you have extra cables in your horde and you don't want to be going out and buying new ones, or if you're cheap like me and only want to spend a minimum $100 on this tractor, at least try and reuse your cables. It might actually work out for you. So this is the throttle cable. It's done. Hopefully it will reach. That's the only other issue I have. It might not reach. But hopefully it does, and stay tuned. Okay, the reconfigured throttle cable is now in. Works perfectly fine. Okay, I'm now done both the throttle and choke. The choke just barely reaches. The throttle actually has a lot of slack. I rather have it a little bit too long than not long enough. I was thinking of making this go down to the bottom, but I think it'd be more tight, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. On these John Deere L118s and probably most other John Deeres, the throttle and choke brackets are back up in there. You do have to remove the mower engagement bracket to get to the front bolt on the choke cable. The throttle cable you can remove without removing this right here. You don't have to fully remove it. Just remove the 3 bolts and slide it off to the side. Slide it off to the left, and you got to pull out your hour voltmeter doodad right there as well, or else you'll break off the connections. I'll demonstrate both of these working. Here is my choke. Obviously it needs a little bit more adjusting. I'll work on that later. And my throttle. So my technique did work. I basically put in on the top just enough to make everything connect. And you don't want to do too much, you don't want to do too little, or else you lose length on your cables. And if you got tight cables, every little bit does count. So everything's working on here now. I basically probably got to clean this carburetor and get this tractor running. It cranks. I've actually had it running on starter fluid, but I have not run it off the tank. I don't have fuel lines hooked up, nor the electrical system. So I'll talk to them later. Please keep redneck like always, and push Trump on it.